Rothenberger 22A Quick Start User's Guide, Collins Classic 22A, and Supermatic 2000-22A. Warning: please refer to the operator's manual for more detailed and complete instructions on the safe use of this machine. This metalworking machine is designed for threading, cutting, reaming, beveling, and grooving pipe with accessories made or authorized by Rothenberger. Modifying machine in any way and/or using devices not made or authorized by Rothenberger can result in serious injury and void Rothenberger's warranty and liability. Step 1. Prepare machine. Remove cutter and die heads from below carriage and mount cutter on carriage. Select one of the 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch or 1 inch to 2 inch die heads, shipped with threading dies installed. Fill oil sump under chip tray with 1 gallon of Rocool cutting coolant supplied with machine. Position a Rothenberger superjack to support pipe or tubing longer than 5 feet and adjust height to machine center. Plug power cord into a grounded outlet that matches nameplate voltage. The 120-volt machine requires a 20-amp breaker for 2-inch bolt and pipe threading. Use a hand oiler to pump some SAE 30 oil into the oil cups located above the nameplate. This should be done twice a day for 10 days and once a day thereafter. Step 2. Chuck pipe, tubing, or rod. Step on foot switch and rotate operating switch handle to release position momentarily to open jaws of automatic chuck. Release operating switch and it will return to off position. Note: maintain pressure on foot switch during chucking, cutting, reaming, and threading operations. Do not use foot switch to start or stop machine. It should only be used in an emergency to disconnect power to machine. Lift cutter, die head, and reamer to up position and insert material into chuck from either front or rear of the machine. If material is shorter than approximately 2 feet, insert it in from the front only. Rotate operating switch handle to thread position to automatically chuck and start rotating material. Step 3. Cut pipe, tubing, or rod. Prior to threading, a small section of the material should be cut off to get a perpendicular end. With material chucked and rotating, move carriage into position by turning carriage handle counterclockwise. Lower cutter and retract roller block to fit over material. Turn cutter handle clockwise to force cutter wheel against material to make cut. When material is cut off, move operating switch to off position. Step 4. Ream pipe or tubing. It is important to ream prior to threading to get good quality threads and to remove burrs from inside diameter of cut pipe or tubing. To use reamer, raise cutter and die head to up position and lower reamer down into carriage. Slide reamer toward material until knob contacts reamer holder. Twist knob counterclockwise 1/4 inch to lock in position. With material chucked and rotating, turn carriage handle counterclockwise to move reamer into pipe or tube. Apply pressure to carriage handle to generate reaming action desired. When reaming is complete, turn operating switch to off position. Step 5. Thread pipe, tubing, or rod. Raise cutter and reamer to up position and lower the previously selected die head down into threading position on the carriage. Determine the thread size to be cut and engage operating lever pin into correct size slot marked on die head. With material chucked and rotating, turn carriage handle counterclockwise to bring die head to material being threaded. Apply and maintain pressure to carriage handle to start threading until a few threads have been cut. At this point, The die head will feed itself to complete the thread. Proper thread length is obtained when die is flush with end of material. While material is still rotating, open die head by moving operator lever to the left and back away from the operator to disengage pin and withdraw dies from head. Step 6. Check thread. Correct depth of thread is obtained if ring gauge is 1 turn from end of pipe or tube. If no ring gauge is available, a pipe fitting of 4 to 5 turns of hand-tight engagement is compatible with ring gauge. 1. Before operating or performing maintenance on this machine, read carefully the operator's manual. Become familiar with the machine's operations, applications, and limitations. Be particularly aware of its specific hazards. Store the operator's manual in a clean area and always at a readily available location. Additional copies at no charge are available upon request from the factory. 2. Prior to starting the machine, check the movable parts for obstructions such as rags, packing remnants, etc. Be certain that guards and machine parts are properly installed and secured. 3. Prevent accidental startings. Place switch in off position prior to plugging in machine. 4. Ground the machine. Be certain the machine is connected to an internally grounded electrical system. 5. Keep the work area adjacent to the machine clear of clutter for unobstructed movement of the operator. Remove all oil or coolant spills. Remove shavings from chip tray as required to maintain proper operating clearance. 6. It is mandatory to use floor-mounted pipe stands for long, heavy work. 7. Loose clothing can easily get tangled in moving parts. When operating machine, do not wear unbuttoned jackets, loose sleeve cuffs, gloves, neckties, long hair, etc. Safety glasses and shoes should be worn. 8. Make certain that the machine is bolted to a heavy workbench or proper stand. 9. Keep machine clean and cutting tools sharp for safe, dependable operation. Follow lubricating instructions. Report any unsafe condition for immediate correction. 10. Keep alert. Do not operate machine if ill or drowsy from medication or fatigue. Avoid horseplay around equipment and keep bystanders a safe distance from equipment. 11. Machine should be operated on switch side only. Never reach across moving parts or material being worked on. Switch should always be accessible to operator. 12. Operate in proper environment. Machine should not be operated in damp locations. Wear hearing protection in noisy shop environments. Ensure proper illumination in work areas. 13. Do not misuse machine. Perform only the functions for which the machine is designed. Do not force machine. 14. Disconnect power cord prior to servicing. Repair should be attempted only by authorized personnel. Always disconnect power cord before making any adjustments or servicing the machine. 15. Do not operate the machine with the spindle cover removed. 16. Keep fingers and hands away from the chucking jaws. 17. All visitors should be kept a safe distance from work area. 18. Use only recommended accessories. Refer to operator's manual. Use of improper accessories may be hazardous. 19. Caution. Do not allow familiarity gained from frequent use of your machine to become commonplace. Always remember that a careless fraction of a second is sufficient to inflict severe injury. Remember, operate machine from switch side only. Do not disconnect or block foot switch. Do not wear gloves, loose clothing, or neckties. Item 1. Changing threading dies in die heads. To remove dies, 1. Lay die head on bench with rubber facing up. 2. Remove stop screw with 3/16 Allen wrench. 3. Disengage operating lever from selector plate. 4. Rotate scroll plate with operating lever clockwise until die slots in scroll plate and die head line up. 5. Pull dies out from die head. To insert dies, 1. Insert dies into slots until die pins are seated in scroll plate slots. Important: die segment numbers stamped on dies must be inserted into corresponding slot numbers in die head. 2. Rotate scroll plate with operating lever counterclockwise and replace stop screw. Item 2. Changing cutting coolant and adjusting flow. Replace cutting coolant after every 40 hours of operation or sooner if it becomes dirty or contaminated with water. To drain oil, position a container under drain plug in machine bassel and unscrew plug. Replace old oil with 1 gallon of Rocool oil and replace the drain plug. Clean chip tray frequently. Excessive buildup of metal chips and shavings can prevent carriage movement and block the strainer. Item 3. Lubrication. Oil cups located on the front of the spindle cover. These oil cups lubricate the 2 spindle bearings and the brake assembly for automatic chucking. Lubricating these points is essential for trouble-free operation and long life of the machine. Once a day, before starting machine for the first time, pump some SAE 30 oil into these oil cups. 22A Problem Solving Guide. Warning: always disconnect power cord before servicing or making any adjustments to the machine. For additional help and information, refer to the Maintenance Introduction section of the Operator's Manual and Parts Catalog. Machine is not running when turned on. A. Check if machine is plugged into a grounded outlet that matches nameplate voltage. The 120-volt machine requires a 20-amp breaker for 2-inch bolt and pipe threading. B. Check if foot switch pedal is depressed fully before turning operating switch to thread position. C. Check operating switch for burned contacts. D. Check foot switch for burned contacts. E. Check motor brushes for wear. Pipe jaws do not open when operating switch is turned to release position. A. Check if foot switch pedal is depressed fully before turning operating switch to release position. B. Check operating switch for burned contacts. C. Check for burned out resistor. Pipe jaws do not grip and hold material. A. Check brake band for correct tension. B. Check all pipe jaws for excessive dirt buildup between teeth. C. Check all pipe jaws for lack of sharpness. Jaws can be reversed to extend life. Motor running hot, arcing excessively. A. Check for worn brushes. B. Check for carbon dust buildup around brushes, creating an electrical short. Flow through the die head is insufficient. A. Oil level is too low in the sump below the carriage. B. Oil pump strainer is clogged or dirty. C. Oil pressure relief valve is dirty or in need of adjustment. Threads are rough or torn. A. Dies are worn or chipped. The lead angle must be sharp and the first 3 teeth unbroken. B. Cutting oil used is improper or dirty and contaminated with water. C. Improper dies are used for material being threaded. Dies ground for standard steel pipe in most cases will not work on stainless steel pipe. Threads are stripped, crossed, or fine. A. Die segments are not in their proper numbered slots. Die segment numbers stamped on dies must be inserted into corresponding slot numbers in die head. B. Machine spindle and die head on carriage are not in alignment. C. Carriage pin holding die head is bent or loose. E. Excessive or insufficient starting pressure applied to carriage handle to start threading. Threads are oversize or undersize. A. Selector plate is out of adjustment. B. Dies are worn and dull. C. Loose or worn die head or scroll plate.